We have not done enough in the past. Too often, we have been overly concerned with our own careers, with our own incomes, with our own families, and did not take account of the larger picture. We let corporate types run the university, set the goals, establish the curriculum, fire and hire as they decided, tenure who they wanted to tenure, and kick out of the university those who are unacceptable to them. Those who said that it is difficult to explain the action against me unless we also take into account what I stand for. Yes, I stand with Mumia Abu-Jamal and have for over 30 years since he was arrested. But if that is so bad, well, I stood with Nelson Mandela when he was in prison and on the United States terrorist list. I've stood with Russell Maroon Shoatz and other political prisoners and prisoners of conscience, like Chelsea Manning, like Edward Snowden, like Julian Assange. So if it's a question of, Dr. Monteiro, you are too political. Well, if I'm too political in standing with Mumia and political prisoners and prisoners of conscience, then are you telling me I should not have stood with Nelson Mandela? Some will say you're a Marxist and a socialist. That you teach W.E.B. Du Bois's magnum opus, Black Reconstruction in America. That you teach C.L.R. James and Amiri Baraka. Are you telling me that you can have a Department of African American Studies without teaching the radical tradition and the traditions of socialism? And if that's what you're telling me, then you're telling me that you want a department built upon a lie. I live in North Philadelphia, have always lived in North Philadelphia, and will continue to live in North Philadelphia. I don't own a car, I ride the buses. And I ride the buses for the same reason that I live in the neighborhood that I always lived in. I like to be among ordinary people. I like to feel what they feel. I like to see how they're looking from day to day. How is this society affecting them? I enjoy living in North Philadelphia. I like to live next to black people. Always have. But I am not going to back up and say that my life world should be transformed because rich people now want to inhabit the cities. I'm going to fight that. I'm going to fight it. And in fighting against gentrification, we are fighting against poverty. We're fighting against the prison industrial complex. Let me just say something quick. I'm not going to talk long, Kashara. Let me just finish up on this. You know, there are a lot of people who want to study the prison industrial complex but not study poverty. They want to study the prison industrial complex but not study gentrification. They want to study the prison industrial complex but not study the effect of neoliberal, corporatized universities upon communities. These institutions are as negative in the life of communities as the prison industrial complex is. In other words, They break up communities in the same way that mass incarceration does. Where do we go from here? I've thought about this, and I would propose, as we do what we have to do, we're going to have to think about a new dean of the College of Liberal Arts. We have to. This is not retaliatory or revenge. It is a practical proposal based upon a job failure. The job was not done well. You did not understand the environment that you were in. You didn't understand the people who are your neighbors. You did not even understand your faculty. But what is the philosophical grounding of that person who would be our next dean of the College of Liberal Arts? I would suggest that that person proceed from a philosophical grounding that I call the Russell Conwell, Marvin Walkman, W.E.B. Du Bois paradigm for higher education. Russell Conwell's commitment to the poor and working class, all be they immigrants and white. Marvin Walkman's socialism arising out of the European Holocaust against the Jews, coming to the United States and teaching and heading a historic black college, Lincoln University, and then coming here to Temple to infuse that ideology and extend, as it were, Russell Conwell's vision. But then higher education cannot be higher education without W.E.B. Du Bois, without his understanding of the function and purpose of higher education. And so I would propose that a project for all of us is that we think of the type of dean of the College of Liberal Arts that we need, and that Philadelphia needs, and that North Philadelphia needs. And that person should be acquainted when they come here with the philosophy of Russell Conwell, Marvin Walkman, and W.E.B. Du Bois. I don't care how long your resume is, but if you don't understand basic principles, you can't do the job. Finally, to my colleagues on the faculty here, join us. Join the almost 200 scholars who have signed a call for the reinstatement of Dr. Monteiro from around the country. Don't be afraid, there's cover. Cornell West, Angela Davis, Robin Kelly, Joe Fagan. I forget some of them, there's so many. 200 of them, join them. In joining them, we as a faculty join the cafeteria workers. Who are our colleagues, they're not our servants. We join the security guards. We join the maintenance workers. An injury to one is an injury to all. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. If the workers in the cafeteria making a less than livable wage, we on the faculty should be concerned. If their lives are difficult in NAR's homes, we on the faculty should be concerned. There is no hiding place. That's what neoliberal capitalism teaches us in the first decade and a half of the 21st century. That if they come for the people in NAR's homes today, they're coming for you tomorrow. That's right. Your PhD cannot shield you from the ravages of neoliberal capitalism. And lastly, let me say this in my own defense. It has been said by some, even written in newspapers, that Dr. Monteiro is not that important. That we can replace him with scores of professors. They're out there. He hasn't done that much. In fact, he hasn't written a book. They say that they're moving in a new direction, ill-defined though it be. And in this new direction, we don't need the black radical tradition. I think to those people, we would ask that they come forward with their proposal. Not just for African American studies, but for the university as a whole. And if you think that African American studies can go forward without the African American community, you must believe that you can have black art and black music without black people. African American studies emerged out of the struggles of ordinary black people who did not ask for anything and did not get anything. If we are professors, it is because of millions of unnamed black people, many of whom became martyrs in the struggle for our freedom. We will win this battle. Yes. We must win this battle. Yes. The key to victory is unity in struggle. Unity of students with the black community, of students in the black community with the labor movement, the great labor movement of Philadelphia. With the clergy, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Jewish, Hare Krishna. This is the only way that we will win, and if we win this, it is but the beginning of the struggle for other victories. Thank you very, very much.
Reinstate Tony! Reinstate Tony! Reinstate Tony! Reinstate Tony! Reinstate Tony! Reinstate Tony!
Ready? So they open the doors. So everybody's going up to agitate. Sarah is right there. Second floor. Second floor. Sarah's right there. Wave. So everybody sees. Follow her, and we're going in the building.
Monteiro wins. Monteiro wins.